Volume. I don't know. You got to pay attention, Jalem. Because let's be honest, the math requires 1 minute. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. That's all we do in this entire class from from the first day, February 7th to June. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. When did you learn to add, subtract, multiply, and divide? Right. So how much math do we need to talk about? Really? Not that much. You guys are all going to be out in the real world in 2 years. You ready for it?
Not yet, because we need 2 more years to pray.
Better start getting ready for it. So, volume deals with the amount of space the subject contains, which means volume has 3 dimensions. Because it is the amount of space the entire object takes up. Now, there's a difference. Okay? Volume we usually reserve for solids. Capacity, I shouldn't have said solids.
Containers or solids?
Yeah. I shouldn't have said solids. Volume, capacity we use for filling empty stuff. Okay? So when you pick up a bottle of Coke, and it says there's 541 milliliters inside it, the liquid is 541 milliliters. That's the capacity. The volume is slightly more. Why? Because of the can or the bottle. Does everybody understand what I mean? Capacity is how much you can put in it. Volume is how much space it takes up. Everybody understand? Now, technically, an empty Coke bottle does not have a volume of 541 milliliters, right? Because it's empty space in there. Everybody with me? Okay. So, now, as per the demonstration I just did, every prism is volume equals area of base. Now, when I say base, that's that loaded word, right? Do I mean the bottom? What do I mean? The repeated shape. So when I showed you that pyramid in Paris that's upside down, the volume of that pyramid, how would you find it? You would find the area of the base shape, which is the roof. Understand? Area of the base, which I remind you, is the repeated shape. Does it matter what shape that is? No. Area of the base times the height. Now, again, that's also a problem, isn't it? Because where do we like to measure height? Up and up, usually, yes? So that pyramid that I showed you in Paris, you would measure the height going where? No, because the base is the roof. So the height is going downwards. So what is the height really? It's the direction of repeating. Does everybody understand what I mean? So, we'll go back to our cylinder one as well. Right now, what is the base? What is the shape that repeats? Circle. What is the height? Up the side, because the circle repeats going that way. So that's automatically the height. Everybody cool? If I turn it this way, what repeats? Still the circle, but now where does the height repeat? Left to right. If I go diagonally, it repeats this way. Everybody understand? The height is the direction that the shape repeats. Got it? Okay. Now, that's a prism. Now, you guys aren't stupid. We also talked about pyramids, yes? We know pyramids are very closely related to prisms, aren't they? Right? What part of a pyramid and a prism are the same? the base area, right? So if we're doing volume of a pyramid, what part of that equation do you think is the same? Area of the base. It still starts as area of the base. And that's still the shape that repeats, yes? Okay. Now, what direction does that shape repeat? It follows the height, right? That's the same, isn't it? Okay. It follows the height. So that's the same. But what happens to that shape as it goes through the height? It shrinks, yes? So it is losing area as you go up, isn't it? Through experimentation, mathematicians found out that it loses a third of its volume. Always. So a pyramid that is related to a prism will have the exact same volume, but it will be divided by 3. That's it. So, let me give you an example. There's a prism, yes? That volume is 111. Okay? The area of the base, 1, 1. This area right here. What am I doing? I'm such an idiot. There, because I want to keep bottom and base together, that is the shape that repeats. Agreed? It is 1 by 1. So how big is it? 1. It goes up 6 times. So I take the area of the base, 1, and I multiply it by the height, the direction it repeats, up 6. Everyone agree? And I get 6 units cubed. Yes? Now, if I make that a pyramid, it's going to become a point. Yes? Does it still go up 6? But what is happening to all of this space? It's gone. And it turns out it's 66.66666% of the original volume. So it is 6 divided by 3.
In what other universe would that work?
It depends. If you subscribe to multiverse theory, everything is possible all the time. Because we do not know about other universes. Everybody cool? So now, this says return to the previous 5 questions and calculate the volume of each object. I gave you 4 in your notes. That's what we're going to do right now. Then we're going to talk about a 5th that was from yesterday's assignment. So if you turn back to page 26. There's our cereal box, yes? Right there. We know our cereal box is 24 by 40 by 8. Now, if you look on your formula sheet, you will see that our computer sucks. You will see that all of the volumes are the same. Well, not spheres. We can't do spheres because they're not a prism. All of the volumes are the same thing, aren't they? All right. So, here we have a rectangular prism. If I say that is the base, then what direction does that repeat? Straight back. So that would be area of the base, 40 by 24 times the height, the direction it repeats, 8. Agreed? That's if it were the green one. What if I said the blue one is the base? So what's the area of the base? 24 by 8. And what's the area of what's the direction it repeats? Up. So it's up 40. Agreed? What if I said this was the side that repeats? What would it be? 8 by 40. And what's the height, the direction that it repeats? To the left, 24. Times, 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 times. Does multiplying affect the order? Does order affect the multiplying? No, because 5 times 2 is?
10.
2 times 5 is?
10.
So that will always work. So that allows us to actually write another formula, if you want, for rectangular prisms. Length times width times height. If you want. Everybody with me? Ease bees lemon squeezy, yeah? Let's turn the page over. You should have left a big blank spot here. We're going to do the volume of the rectangular pyramid. Because it's the exact same as if it were the volume of the square pyramid, yes? What is volume of every single pyramid? Area of the base times what? Times the height divided by 3. Great. What's the area of the base? What is the shape in this pyramid? Because, of course, we're using our rectangle one over here. It's a rectangle. And it is how big? So the area of the base, 32 by 48. And what's the height?
Well, the slant height's 65, so we did that.
No, we gave a height in this one. Read the question. Height is 65. And then what do I do with that whole answer? Divide it by 3. Hit me. What is it? That's the volume. What's the answer? Why would you come to math without a calculator? That would be fine if you were super awesome at multiplying. Are you? So why would you be here without a calculator? What is it? 33,280 feet cubed. Everybody good? All right. A cone. What's a cone? A pyramid or a prism? It's a pyramid, so it's still area of the base times what? Height. But since it's a pyramid, it's divided by 3. So it's pi r squared h divided by 3. Pi r squared in this one, what's pi or what's r? Pi 15 squared. H was what? 22. All divided by 3, yes? So you go to your calculator and you do that math. What does it equal?
Pi 1,650 centimeters cubed.
No. 1,650 pi centimeters cubed. You can't forget the pi.
Put it at the front.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say pi. Everybody cool? It's easy, right? Why is volume complicated? People are like, I can't do volume. Cylinder, prism, or pyramid? What's a cylinder? Is it a prism or a pyramid? It's a prism. So the volume of a cylinder, since it's a prism, is the same as every other prism. Area of the base times the height. Do I divide it by 3? No. What's the base of a cylinder? It's a circle. Pi r squared h. What was my R? 5. 5 squared. What was my H? 20. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 20 is 500 pi. We usually put the number first, like we would do 3x instead of x3.
Because it is technically a variable.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a variable.
Because it represents it.
Yeah. Is everybody cool? Yes? All right, now listen to me. Repeat it back to me. What is the formula for the volume of every prism? Area of the base times height. What is the base? The shape that repeats. Does it matter what shape that is? No. Good. Now turn your page over to D. No. You turn your page once to question D. What is the volume of that?
Oh, that's cool. You can actually cut it up this time.
You don't have to cut it up. That's the point.
What?
What is the volume of every prism? Area of the base times what? Son of a... It would be so much more effective if it actually worked. Area of base times the height. Now, what is the area of the base? Or what is the base? No. Answer the question. What is the base? The shape that repeats. What is the shape that repeats here?
Squares. It's the 4 by 4 rectangle.
Doesn't that repeat?
Oh, yo.
Because what's the back of that thing look like? Just like that. By the way, in case anyone cares, and you can argue with me all you want, you'll lose. That's the best Tetris piece.
The T?
Yes. Because it always fits.
It depends on
No, it depends on nothing. It always fits. You never have to leave a blank space when you have that.
Oh, yeah, because if there's a hole, you can just pop, make a new layer.
All right. Now, what is the area of the base? It's everything blue. How big is this? 12 by 4, which is 48. How big is this? 4 by 4, which is 16. So how big's all the blue? 64.
64 by 4.
And what's the height? Don't tell me a number. What is the height?
The area of where it repeats itself. It repeats itself like
The direction of what, Harmon? The direction of repetition. That blue repeats that way how long? 4. Meaning this volume is 64 times 4. 256 millimeters cubed. Now, stop for a second. If you didn't think about this, you're going to do what Luke said, aren't you? You're going to say, oh, I'm just going to cut that in half there, Mr. Myers. And that bottom one is 12 by 4 by 4. So cut it in half. 12 by 4 by 4. And this top one is 4 by 4 by 4. And then I'm going to add them together. Is it the same answer? Yeah. Of course it is. Which one's more work? That one. Everybody cool?
That's cool.
Everybody understand? Now, let's turn the page over. You're not going to do this. We're not going to do it. If I asked you to do the volume of this, what would you do?
I'll calculate the surface area of that little wonky L shape.
You would calculate that surface area and then multiply it by what? 6. You do the green times 6 because that green shape repeats backwards. Even though it's not the bottom, it's the base shape. Does everybody get it?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. Well, what's the area of the green, man? How long is that? 11. How long is this? How long is this, up and down? 4. So how big is that part? 44. How long's this?
22.
How long's this? How long's this? So what's that? So what's the whole green? 66 times 6. No. 66 times 6 is 396. Feet cubed.
Wow.
Gouda? Great. And we are going to stop there because class is about to end and I'm going to give you no homework. I do not want you doing anything tonight. We are going to finish this tomorrow with spheres and hemispheres, and then you're going to have the rest of tomorrow's class to do the assignment that goes with this. So hopefully you have no homework over your long weekend, because I care. My heart, just like the Grinch at the end, not at the beginning, is 3 sizes too large.